Good afternoon. I'm Dr. Green Beauty, and I will be helping you today. So, I know that you are in today due to some issues with clenching your jaw at night. And you're concerned that there's going to be some damage. I understand. Okay, so I do have your x-rays and previous medical records here that I would like to review with you. Okay. And as I do with all of my patients in the initial session, can you please confirm the spelling of your last name? Okay, and your date of birth? And your social security number, please? Okay, so give me just a moment as I see your x-rays that we got from you. Your teeth look fine. I see that you do have a history of a root canal in that front tooth there. That's right. And any history of cavities? Just as a child, okay. And any other fillings? I see a couple here. Right, that's right. Okay. Looks good. So, since you are here for that particular concern, what I do with this type of issue is I go in and I do examine the mouth. I do use some sharp tools, but don't you worry. I'll be very gentle and very slow. And I'm just peeking around, and you'll see that I'm going to just be feeling around as I assess the damage that's done on those back teeth there. You might hear me saying some words to my assistant here to the side, and that is simply so she can jot down some notes as we proceed. Now, I'm not going to be focusing on doing a cleaning, as that's going to be a separate appointment, but I will be spraying some sort of like a light numbing. Yes, it's a little numbing spray that I'm just going to put into your mouth initially while I go and examine and do some assessing of what we've got, and then I'll show you on to what we'll do for a mouth guard for you, and then you'll be sent home with your own little goodie bag. Good. Now, as I shift over to putting my gloves on, I would like to know if you do have any particular dental anxiety. Okay, if at any time you feel afraid or uncertain or anxious, please just lift your hand just like that, and we'll be sure to take a moment, okay? Okay, so let's get my gloves. Yes, at this point, I'm just examining the structure. Go ahead and open wide. Close. Open wide. Close. Okay, I'm just feeling your jawbone. No issues there. Gonna feel underneath. Can you swallow? Good. That feels normal. Let me just palpate the lymph nodes in this area. Good. Okay, that feels normal. You do have some tongue biting. Okay, so I just needed to get that initial perspective. Let me go ahead and put this over you. This is going to go right underneath you. Perfect. Okay. Okay, let's get my tools. Okay. Okay, here we go. I'm going to start in the back and just do examination of each tooth. And I'm going to be reading out some numbers to my assistant, and this is just assessing the amount of gum growth around each tooth. 3, 2, 2, 1, 3, 3, 2, 1. Very good. 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 3, 3, 4. Okay. Up on the top, let's just see here. 3, 2, 2, 1, 3, 3, 2, 1, 1, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 1. Okay. I am noting here, right? Yes, I understand. Okay, yes, I do see some of that abrasiveness on the sides of the tongue here. So can you please note, ma'am, that we've got tongue biting on either side, cheek biting as well. I see some residual scarring and some loose tissue on both sides. Okay, and what are you doing for your dental care routine? Okay. Yes, I do recommend increasing the frequency of flossing. I know it's difficult. Okay. Okay. Yes, I can see here this tooth with the root canal. I can also see here some previous fillings. Salivary glands look normal. I do see that you do have some, looks like you have an abrasion on either side of your mouth. Do you sleep with your mouth open? Yes, I understand. You know, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about sleep hygiene with regard to clenching our jaw and having our mouth open. So what I'd like to offer you, since I will be requiring you to hold your mouth open quite some time, I would like to put some moisturizer or basically a product on either side. Okay. Okay, so go ahead. I'm just going to apply this. And apply on the other side, just like that. Good. Okay. So I've done that. Now I do see some of, well, so because we're talking about, and your concern is about clenching your jaw, And I do see here the scar tissue from on both of your cheeks and even on the sides of your tongue. It says to me that you're holding a lot of tension in the upper head area. Okay, now this can over time be very challenging when talking about the jaw. This is also very challenging because we do think about things like TMJ, which is really just the name for the joint in the jaw area. But as I was assessing you earlier, I did not feel any indications of having anything disruptive in that joint. So that leads me to believe that we need to talk about your caffeine intake, your sugar intake, and your sleep hygiene. And you know, sometimes when we clench our jaws in the while we sleep, we can't always control that. But we do know, and research does show us, that when we increase the amount of caffeine or sugar, we are more likely to be keeping our jaw clenched, whether we know it or not, throughout the day. You also noted on your intake form that you do feel some achiness in this area. Now, this also does support my thesis that this has to do with caffeine and sugar intake. Right, that's right. And can you think about any times during the day when you might be clenching your jaw? When you're working, you have a very stressful job. Oh, I surely do understand that. I really do. Okay, so now that we've got that, I would like to go in and I'm going to do just a little bit of light flossing for you, just to get some clearing out in between the teeth, because I will be fitting you for your mouth guard. Okay, I'm just going to go in, go ahead and keep open wide. Good. Well, when you're a dentist just like me, you can double fist flossing. That's skill if I've ever seen it, huh? I know. Okay, on top. Great. Okay, so let me go ahead and spritz some of the disinfectant. Let me just activate it. Okay, here we go. Right like that. Say, ah, very good. And let's just let your mouth close for a moment and let that absorb. Okay, so what I'd like to do now is I'm going to get the mouth guard. Now it comes in a case like this. And underneath we'll have your patient information. And this is your little case that you can take with you as you travel wherever you'd like. This stays on your nightstand. Okay? And with this mouth guard, it comes very simple, just like this. And what we do for you is we use our special molding technology to mold this to the exact fitting of your teeth. Okay? So this is, it just goes on the top. It does not go on the bottom. This is just going to be placed on the top, and it just lines right along each curvature of your teeth. That's right. So in this way, we're going to make sure that each tooth is fully encapsulated by this device. And over time, you'll find that the damage and the wear and tear here on these teeth on you is going to lighten quite a bit, okay? So we'll be doing that for you. Yes. Well, I think that you came in at the right time because, as I saw from your assessment, you are really at risk for further damaging these back teeth here. Now, I took my gloves off, so I don't want to put my hands in your mouth, but if you can take your tongue and just slide it over those back molars there. Yes. Now, our molars do normally feel very uneven. That is the nature of those teeth. But I want you to notice there on your back left one, right in there, you feel how it divots down just a little bit. Yes, now that is from the wear and tear of clenching your teeth. I know. Well, don't be too frightened because you've come in at the right time. And if you wear your mouth guard regularly, you should certainly be okay. All right. So we will be fitting you at your next appointment for that mouth guard. And I think that other than that, it looks okay. Now, I don't want to lecture you on stress management. However, the fact that you have complained of chronic jaw pain, I do see that is congruent with the markings on your teeth. You also have reported a very stressful job and a high amount of caffeine intake. I do highly recommend you work on a plan to decrease the amount of caffeine. I know that our jobs are not something we can easily change, but I do hope that you will find a little bit of alterations in your lifestyle that might accommodate what's going on for you up here in this area. Okay? And before I leave you, we do offer each of our patients their own little goodie bag. And I'll just show you each thing that's in this bag. Now, to begin with, we have this toothbrush. I know that you mentioned that you use an electric toothbrush and you do brush twice a day, which is wonderful. This is always helpful to leave in your overnight bag if you go traveling, in case you cannot bring the charger and the electric toothbrush. This is helpful to leave at our friend's house or romantic partner's house or our parents' house in case we forget. So we've got this toothbrush. Next we have in this bag, we've got my #1 recommended toothpaste. This is the Crest Pro Health, and this is in the Clean Mint. This is a travel size, but this is also a sample size. So if you've never tried this, you're welcome to give it a try. Otherwise, this also goes wonderfully in your travel bag. Also in here, we do include some mouthwash for you. I do believe that cleansing our mouth as the last step in our dental hygiene routine is quite important. Now, this is alcohol-free, so it is not going to leave your mouth feeling incredibly dry. This is also accompanied by fluoride, and I believe that that's quite important for our oral hygiene, which is why I select this to be in our bag for our patients. You'll find that when you use this regularly, your teeth will be stronger, and not to mention the benefit of fresh breath. And last, but certainly not least, as I mentioned before, is a little thing of floss here. Now, it's quite important that you stay up to flossing twice a day. I know it's very, very hard, and not everybody can do it. You will find that with regular flossing, bad breath decreases. You'll find that your gums have an overall brighter appearance as well. Yes, and your cleanings at each appointment will be a lot less bloody. I understand. Yes. Okay, dear, so that's what I'm going to be giving you now. And I'm glad that I was able to see you today. We will check you out up front. The receptionist will. We'll be verifying with your insurance as well. And before we have you come in for that mouth guard fitting, we will verify coverage with your insurance. Great. I look forward to seeing you again. It was so nice to meet you. Bye-bye.